safe. All it takes is a few minutes in front of people with this evidence. And people don't have to become experts themselves. It's all packaged in podcasts and films, etc. So the good news is it's easy to win the argument now. And the other good news is you don't have to convince everyone. It's not an election where 51% of Americans have to stop eating GMOs in order for Kraft Foods to realize they've lost market share. Just a small percentage would be sufficient. And we already have 28 million Americans that buy organic food on a regular basis, another 54 million on an irregular basis. Just the people that eat healthy foods, if they were conscientiously avoiding GMOs in their non-organic purchases, if they knew why the GMOs were bad and they were conscientious to avoid them, that alone could create the tipping point. In fact, a single popular TV show could do it, a single popular movie. It's that vulnerable. So we think we can create the tipping point of consumer rejection of GMOs even before the end of 2009. So we'll see Kraft and Nestle's and Hershey's scrambling to find sources for non-GM products to feed to the finicky Americans.
Any idea what percent of Monsanto's sales are GMOs?
Well, most of them are either GMOs or they're Roundup herbicide. I mean, they also are into water and other things, but most of them are herbicides and seeds. Now, not just GMOs, but they also have a huge amount of non-GM seeds that they're waiting to be converted to GM. In fact, as I said, their plan was to genetically engineer 100% of all the commercial seeds in the world, and they went on a buying spree and became the number one seed company.
They're making money.
They are.
Huge cash flow, everything else. So let's go back to the phones. Denver, Colorado, first-time caller. Hi, Claire. Go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for the call. It's a great topic. Myself, I've been into organics for over 10 years, and I've been aware of the dangers of GMOs and the bovine growth hormone, but trying to tell people for their own good, half of them, I find mainstream America doesn't care. And I know you were talking about more people care than ever, and the listeners on Coast to Coast are more aware type people. But how do you reach mainstream America? I mean, is Oprah interested? She seems to reach a huge crowd. But how do we, two questions. I'd like to volunteer to get more involved, and I'm wondering if you're tied in with the Organic Trade Association, Organic Consumer Association, trade shows like the Fancy Food Show where you can talk to retailers and, maybe tell them not to bring in products like that. And if you have any plans with Oprah?
Well, I think Oprah Winfrey could end the genetic engineering of the food supply in one show. I'm very convinced.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
And so the thing is, one of the good pieces of news is this, and it's hard for people to get this the first time, and I'm going to say it real clear. We don't have to convince the junk food eating, couch potato American who still hasn't connected food and health at all. They will never know that they're eating a GMO, and they'll never know that we got rid of it for them. If we just take those who are already receptive, who are already open, who want to eat healthy, who are open to this information, and we just armed them with the information, with the shopping guides, with the information about the risks, which is in all sorts of formats, large books, small books, brochures, anything, right brain material, left brain material, visual learner, audio learner, we've got that. And if we just reach those people who are already receptive, they can drive it out of the market. In fact, one major religion, if they believe GMO means God move over, it's over. In India, there was two major spiritual leaders who came out on this film, Poison on the Platter, who came out against GMOs. They have 300 million followers. If they were introduced GMOs after they criticized it, it would be an uprising. So I first of all, yes, I'm connected to all those different groups. In fact, the natural food industry is going through a revolution now, cleaning out all remaining GM ingredients and adopting a new third-party verified standard called the Non-GMO Project. So just like things are certified organic, now they're going to be verified as Non-GMO Project, which is going to be starting to give seals on products in October. So we're seeing a lot of traction in the natural food industry, of course, because they hate GMOs, but until now they haven't had a real plan to get rid of them, and now they do.
Okay, let's go next to Ontario, Canada. Hello, Lynn, you're up.
Hi. Oh, George, I'm so glad you have Jeffrey on. Jeffrey, thank you so very much. I live in Ontario, and I want to let you know that our organic milk in our stores are now $10 for a 4-liter bag. $10. The regular milk is like $3.50. Now, all of our meats, organic meats, are double the price and sometimes triple the price. Sometimes I think it's almost like a conspiracy, like give out the garbage food and then bring all this good food that's supposed to be natural in the first place. I would like to know, where did this all start? Like, whose wand said, okay, this is what we're going to do? Where did this start from? Where did it come from?
In terms of genetic engineering, that came a lot by Monsanto and the other biotech companies. In fact, one of the big impetuses was their Roundup herbicide was going to go off patent in the year 2000. So they developed Roundup Ready crops and then had people sign contracts that if they buy the Roundup Ready crops that can be sprayed with Roundup, they would only buy Monsanto's brand of glyphosate or Roundup. And so it was a way to kind of extend the patent life. And so 80% of all the GM crops are just designed to sell as a package with herbicide. So that's how it happened initially. And then they decided, okay, let's put in this Bt toxin. Now, this toxin splits open the stomach of insects and kills them. It's a natural bacteria-producing toxin. It's used in organic agriculture. It's used for years. And because of that, the EPA, which registers these Bt plants as a pesticide, says, Bt has a history of safe use. We can just put these little spray bottles in every cell of the plant. But they ignore the fact that hundreds of people in North America who were sprayed with Bt when it was used for gypsy moth infestation got allergic reactions and flu-like symptoms. Now, thousands of farm workers in India are getting the exact same allergic reactions just by touching the cotton, just by picking it or loading it onto trucks. Also, animals that have been fed the natural Bt have had immune responses and damaged intestines, and now animals fed the Bt crops are getting immune responses and damage. So they're ignoring the state-of-the-art science and allowing these foods on the market based on false assumptions.
Next up, let's go to James in Phoenix. Take it away, James. Hi.
Hi, guys. I was just wondering, there's been a lot of like E. coli and salmonella from cooked vegetables. Could these genetically modified foods be holding within their cell membrane these fertilizers that keep it after it's boiled?
I haven't heard a link between GMOs, crops particularly, and a higher infestation of E. coli. However, industrialized agriculture, the way it's used now, does lend itself to this increase in E. coli and dangerous bacteria. And so what's happening is instead of cleaning things up, they allow irradiation and things like that to try and kill the problems rather than fixing them at their source. So the whole industrialization of agriculture and the food supply has left us vulnerable to these type of toxins.
Okay, good. Thanks, James. International line, British Columbia caller, we go. Hi, Lorraine. Lorianne.
Hi.
Hi.
This is an amazing conversation here tonight. I was wondering, the government has known about this for a long time. I was wondering what the people in the White House eat.
Very good question. It turns out Obama has an organic kitchen, but it turns out so did the Bushes. Laura Bush was adamant that the kitchen only serve organic food, according to documents that came out this year. And so even here's an interesting thing. In Monsanto's UK headquarters, they asked the restaurant owner, do you serve genetically engineered foods? And he wrote in 1999 a letter saying, in response to concern raised by our customers, we have decided to remove as far as possible genetically modified soy and corn from all products served in our restaurant. This was the restaurant in Monsanto's own company headquarters.
Claire in Tucson, Arizona, it's your turn on Coast to Coast. Hi, Claire.
Hi there. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
I've been listening for over 25 years since Art Bell was in Alaska, but enough of that. I turned in late, and if you've answered this, I apologize. But I would like to bring this out. You said go organic. With you all the way. I've been organic all the way, but I recently, in traveling through the West, there's a major producer of organic wheats and all the other the grains. I've gotten their products throughout the country in organic food stores. They are the highest users of Roundup in that particular very large state. And I talked with them, and they said, well, no, don't worry about it. We do it beforehand, 3 weeks before we plant. Are they safe that way, or are they fooling themselves and us?
Well, if they're organic, they follow very strict requirements in terms of